Hey, good morning and welcome back to the Soak channel. That's SOAK, Son of a King, Son of the Most High God. Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you had a great weekend, holiday weekend, that is. Hope you didn't eat too much during the 4th of July. I'm still fasting, so I wasn't able to consume anything. But hey, it's almost over, so continue to pray for me so that I can make it to the end of my 40-day tenure here. Nevertheless, just wanted to briefly go over something that I looked in my Bible app this morning, give you a little something for your encouragement today, going forth with your Monday at the beginning of the week. All right. A lot of times I talk about, keeping in peace with others, because that's kind of one of the hard things to do. We look at people and see certain things going on, or certain things happening, right? Don't like certain people for whatever reasons or whatever the case may be, right? And a lot of times that's hard. It's hard to kind of balance that with the way you may be feeling and maybe the way somebody else is feeling about you, right? And a lot of times what I try to do is look at myself before I start looking at others, right? Because we have to make the change within ourselves in order for the surroundings around us to change a lot of times. Okay? And so I don't understand what this cat keeps coming on my porch here. Nevertheless, he might be hungry. I'm sure he is. Nevertheless, I just thank God for this opportunity to talk to you. Remember, I'm always trying to encourage not only you, but encourage myself to want to do right and try to do right, because these things are not, again, always easy to do. All right. One of the things that I do know or feel is that there's a lot of man-made things that we see, like all these different religions, right? And God never created, and Jesus never created these particular religions. You have Buddhism, you have Baptists, you have Catholics, and so forth and so on. And all these are different views on a lot of things. And Jesus and God talks about having one faith, one belief. All right. Well, you can't do that with all these particular things, and everybody's saying something different. The only thing that God wanted us to do was be holy. That was what his commandment was. That was what his word was. He said to be holy, for I am holy. All right, that's what his main thing was, for us to be. Okay, and so we have to search out the scriptures to see what does holy look like. What does that mean to be holy? Okay, and God gives us a lot of ways that we are to be holy. One of the examples I want to give this morning is it says being in peace wherever possible. Okay, this is part of being holy. And it says, what does holy living look like? It says, according to the teachings in the New Testament, it's living in accordance with God's word, as I just mentioned. Holiness means saying no to wrong actions and seeking forgiveness when we do make mistakes. Right? It looks like putting aside any selfish interest, all right, in order to pursue the good plan God has for the world. Right? The writer of the letter to the Hebrews understood that this wasn't easy, so he encouraged his readers to run with perseverance. Okay? While stripping off anything that might slow them down or trip them up. That's in Hebrews 12, 1 and 2. The author of Hebrews then encourages his readers to be holy, to live according to God's commands and ways. Holiness gives others a window to see God in our lives. It also gives us the opportunity to love others the way Jesus would love them. As we pursue a relationship with God, the way we interact with people should change. The author of Hebrews described God as described God as the God of peace. Right? Hebrews 13 and 20. If our desires is to obey God and be like him, then we should make every effort to live in peace with everyone. When we live with anger or bitterness towards others, we're unable to show them the love of Jesus, a love that sets us apart and shows off God's glory. Living at peace with people does not mean that we have to love everyone the same way or blindly accept misconduct. That's important. All right, so I want you to get that part right there as well. Living at peace with people does not mean that we have to love everyone the same way or blindly accept misconduct. So just because God is asking us to love everyone doesn't simply mean you just have to love the same way. You can love sometimes people from a distance. I talked about that in one of my other videos or whatever. Love is an action, right? Doesn't necessarily mean you have to fool with somebody and deal with their quote unquote misconduct. Well, but will you give them something to drink if they were thirsty? Would you feed them if they were hungry? I talked about that in one of my videos previously. All right. But it does not mean, all right, but it does mean that we make an effort whenever possible to be generously seek wholeness, reconciliation, and forgiveness, actions that would lead to peace. Okay? Take a moment today to consider your relationship with others. All right? Are your relationships marked by anger or bitterness? Or are you living at peace with others? If there is someone in your life you have not forgiven, make an effort to begin to make things right. Consider how you can live a life that aligns with God's word so that others can see God working within you. All right? So remember, a lot of times when you're going through things or when you have this grudge or bitterness, and you have this thing where you're not being forgiving, right? Remember that God forgave you. Jesus forgave you, which is why he did what he did on the cross. And remember this also. Forgiving someone is not for them. It's for you. Because a lot of times they're not even thinking about you. I'm just being honest, right? They're not. Forgiving someone a lot of times is all about you and setting you free. So remember that, okay? All right, guys. So I'm getting ready to head to work. I just wanted to share this message with you this morning in case a lot of us are going through things, which I'm sure a lot of us are. But we got to keep our mind and focus on the one true God who is above all and any problem that you can ever have. So, until next time, this is the Soak Channel. That's SOAK, Son of a King, Son of the Most High God. Hey, also, guys, be on the lookout. I'm going to talk about something next on my next talk here about why did the Israelites continuously, why did the Israelites continuously to be disgruntled when God had done showed them so many different ways of his glory when he freed them from the Pharaohs, departed the Red Sea, and showed them all these miracles. You'll be kind of surprised on why would they keep doing that, right? It's a lot of things, and it has to do with the mindset that they had. I want to kind of briefly go over that. And sometimes it's about a mindset, right? Which is why we have to continuously and every day renew our mind. And that's what Jesus was talking about at one particular point, the renewing of our mind and what it talks about in the scriptures. Nevertheless, have a great day. I know it's Monday, it's the beginning of the week, but hey, with God, hey, it's still a great day. So until next time, I love you. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time on the Soak Channel. Peace.